Right, hello and welcome to Seathers Toddler. Really good to be back. I'm afraid it's another rail trail, there's no wild camping, but wild camping is coming in the next couple of weeks, I'm certain of it. So today we're pretty local, we're out for a family day out and we've come to Hebden Bridge. So we've got lots of history to tell you, we've got lots of pubs and places to go and visit, can't wait. We're going to try and do a bit of history as well if we can. So without any further ado, this is the first stop, which is a stubbing wharf, and as you can see, been here since 1810, and obviously it really came about when the Rochdale Canal was built in 1804, and also the Turnpike Road behind me, which is the Halifax to Burnley Turnpike Road. So its most notable connection is Ted Hughes, who referenced it in the poem called Stubbing Wharf. And the actual poem starts: between the canal and the river, we sat in a gummy dark bar, winter night rain, the blank Hookbourne Bridge and its cobbles, sweating black under the lamps of drizzling yellow. I've got to say, I haven't done a right lot of Ted Hughes, but it's certainly very descriptive. So yeah, definitely worth a listen. But let's go inside and see what the Stubbing Wharf has got to offer. And like I say, we've got a lot to get round to today. So hopefully you enjoy the trip, and it's great to have you along. Right, so we sat outside the Stubbing Wharf. Cheers, first pint of the day, a nice pint of Guinness. So yeah, it's quite fascinating really. I'll tell you a bit more about the history of how Hebden Bridge name came about and what have you later on in the video. But what's really interesting is you've got the River Calder, and from the River Calder, everything that's sort of been designed to sort of move things has all gone almost in line or adjacent with the river. So you've got we're obviously right at the side of the Rochdale Canal, which were opened in 1804, I think, and at sort of early part of 19th century. And you know, obviously this will have been a major advancement, and really what made Hebden Bridge, because before Industrial Revolution it was square root and not a great deal. Most of the buildings were in Eptonstall up the hill, and in the bottom of the valley there was hardly anything, which we'll talk about, like I say, later. But yeah, so they built the canal in 1804, and then it was only about another 35 years before railway come. So did an awful lot of digging for about 30 odd years, and then railway, well, I should imagine on most things, will have taken over, because railway came in 1840, and that runs adjacent to the canal as well, and the river. And they've also got the turnpike, the Halifax to Burnley Turnpike, which actually opened in 1777, so late part of 18th century. But that obviously didn't have much traffic on it, because until internal combustion engine started, it was horse and cart stuff. So quite interesting that basically all Hebden Bridge came about because of the Industrial Revolution, which we'll talk about quite a bit today. But I've got to say, for the first pint, as long as the rain stops off, which is not forecasted to do, we could end up getting wet today. There's going to be a lot of history around here, but it's really fascinating because so much change in not a great deal of time. Right, so lovely first pint in that. So we're now at the side of the canal. Absolutely fabulous. This really pretty, as you can see. So yeah, so Hebden Bridge used to actually be called Hebden Bridge, and I'll probably say after Eptonstall, but obviously that's Industrial Revolution came. It picked up the name from the bridge because it ran over the River Hebden, so that's where it came from. So it changed, but like I said, we'll touch on that a bit more later on. There's some absolutely incredible history around here, and I can't wait. There's also some incredible pubs, so we're walking now in, and it's probably going to take us, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and then we'll be at the next one, so not long now. Right, so as you can see here, we're looking over the River Calder, I think, and as you can see, there's a mill in the distance, and the mill backs onto the actual canal. So that tells me that probably before 1840 that mill was built, because obviously back then they wanted to be right, so have the goods right next to the canal, so they could throw the goods straight onto a barge and out it went, and hopefully collect some money down the road. Which obviously when railway come along, all of a sudden your mill was sort of a little bit in wrong position. But yeah, but interesting. But like as I was saying to you before, this runs absolutely adjacent to the canal, so yeah, quite incredible really. Right, so we're at the next pub, we're at the Fox and Goose. You can see I've got a fox behind me, look. Fox there, right, so the Fox and Goose. So you might get a bit of traffic noise on this one. So the Fox and Goose has a rich history, potentially dating back to medieval times, when apparently they were an ale house, but it was rebuilt in the 1660s and has been a favourite ever since. In 2012, something quite remarkable happened in that the Fox and Goose faced closure, but the community came forward and saved it, so it became the first of West Yorkshire's community-owned pubs. And it was opened by the sort of got everybody to buy shares in it and what have you. And in all honesty, when we try to say the Crossroads in Crossroads, we got a lot of help from the Plunkett Foundation, and we got a load of help from a lady called Hannah Nadeem and Nigel Thurkel, who I think are still involved with the Fox and Goose. But what a wonderful show community spirit, and it's here now hopefully for a long time to come. So well done to the Fox and Goose, and well done to Nigel and Hannah, and thank you for all your help. It was much appreciated, even though we didn't get there with the Crossroads. Right, the next stop is a place called Drink, and it's a bottle house with a Bridgestone Brewery, which opened in 2014. So they have bottle beers and a shop, and they also have a room at the back where you can get a drink. So we're going to go inside there and give it a go. But anyway, I'm going to tell you what, there's some incredible independent shops in Hebden Bridge. I think they've got more independent shops per capita than anywhere else, but some lovely buildings. Really, the architecture around here is fabulous. So we just left Drink, really nice in there, really good atmosphere. So we're now at what they call the New Bridge. So this is the New Bridge. Look at all these ducks at that bottom of here. They're having a good bit of time out there in rain. There, look at it, finally got some water. But yeah, so this is the River Hebden. So I'm going to show you the old bridge in a bit. Right, we're outside the White Lion, and it's reputedly the oldest building in Hebden Bridge, or one of the oldest buildings in Hebden Bridge, and it's absolutely pouring it down, so I'm going to have to try and be fairly quick here. So I'll just spin you around. So the White Lion, as I say, is one of the oldest buildings in town. It has a rich history dating back to 1657, when it was originally built as King's Farm. It transitioned into a public house and posting house in the mid-1700s, serving as a vital stop for travellers and stagecoaches. The pub is known for its historic features, including a date stone of 1657, fine stone fireplace, decorative spirals, and the original ground floor frontage. And historic events, like I say, it started as King's Farm, and then in 1840 the Hungarian composer Franz Liszt stayed at the White Lion, and then it was owned by Whittaker's Brewery in 1897 and remodelled in the early part of the 20th century. The pub was sold to Richard Whittaker and Sons in 1925, and in 2011 it actually closed for a little time. But today it's a very popular pub, and it's very well liked. And The other thing about Hebden Bridge that I was going to say is Hebden Bridge was also known as Trouser Town because it made a load of corduroy and moleskin. In fact, it got also known as Fustianopolis because they had so many places that wore fustian, which is a generic term for corduroy and for moleskin. And so it was very well known for that. And we've got another couple of other tilts to that later on. But yeah, so Fustianopolis, so quite good. But yeah, all this lot down here, there was just the old bridge, which I'm going to show you shortly, and the White Lion. They were the only two buildings up until the sort of like 19th century, really. So, or 18th, 19th century. They were only them two big. And obviously, the Industrial Revolution has played a massive part in the development of Hebden Bridge, or Hebden Bridge as it used to be called. But there we go. Let's go inside the White Lion and see what it's like. Right, I've just come over other side at Shoulder of Mutton and behind Nutcliff Mill. I've never been across this bridge before, so St George Bridge erected. So this is, I think this used to be a pub and all. I'll talk to you about that in a little while here. But it's also Urban District Council offices, you can see, obviously, that's what it is. And I still think behind it is used for Urban District Council. But I'm just saying that there's this Millennium clock, which I've never seen before. I'm glad I've come around here because look at this. Absolutely wonderful, and that's by the Rotary Club of Hebden Bridge. What an absolutely fantastic thing. So, you know, when you start digging, there's so much history to say, but I mean, even you know, Urban District Council buildings, absolutely fantastic. Right, so in front of the Shoulder of Mutton is quite busy, so I've come around the back. So we've got Hebden Beck there, or river if you want to call it that. We've also got the Shoulder of Mutton there. So the Shoulder of Mutton is an historic pub with roots back into the 17th century. Originally built as a row of 3 cottages, it is known locally as Bottom Shoulder to distinguish it from the former pub with the same name at Blackshaw Head. The building possibly one of the oldest in Hebden Bridge, because same as the White Swan. It obviously goes back quite a thing, but obviously it's been a private residence, a pub, a post office, and also a toll road gate. I think there were a gate there in front of the pub and what have you. But yeah, it's quite nice at Shoulder of Mutton. We'll go and have a look at that, and then we've got something else to see. But yeah, it's we're having a good day so far. Rain stopped for a little while, so fingers crossed. Right, so we're in the centre of Market Square now, and you'll see this now here. Show you here. This is the fustian blade, so I'll tell you about this. And like I said, fustian was where they were weaving 2 sets of cotton weft or fillings into a linen warp to produce the pile or corduroy. And a fustian blade or knife was a sculpture by Mike Williams in 2008, and it's actually a sundial as well, and it points up towards Nutcliff Mill, which was the home of the Fustian Manufacturing Society, founded in 1870. So yeah, quite a nice touch that. But yeah, I think the last mill in that produced corduroy around here was Peckwell Mill, which was in 1998. So it's a shame that it's died out, and I think there is still quite a lot of textile stuff goes on around here, which is quite wonderful. But this fustian blade points directly at the Nutcliff Mill, which is directly behind us. You can see, I'll take a picture of it. But yeah, quite brilliant really. But I've walked past this loads of times, not really paid it much attention, so it's good to finally have a proper look at it. Right, we're still raining, I'm afraid, so we've just come out of Shoulder of Mutton, and we've come across the old bridge, which I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, just spin you around here. So here we have the Hole in the Wall pub, and it's funny because I've got a picture of the old Hole in the Wall pub that was there before this one, which was obviously built in 1899. And the Hole in the Wall pub has a history entwined with the town's development, particularly around the mill and the Old Gate area. It replaced an older building, which I've just told you about, with the same name in the late 1890s. The pub is known for its unique name, possibly originated from the gap in the brickwork used by the blacksmith or damage caused by Roundheads in the Civil War. The building was later renovated and despite facing some challenges with licensing and noise complaints, it remained a fixture until 2011 and had a bar and a bit of a disco upstairs from what I remember, because I went to it when I was a young man, and it was really, really good, but a real shame that that's been lost. But yeah, you see the old cobbles running up the side there from the old pack horse route, I think it was. But yeah, this is the original bridge. So you can see the original bridge there, but you see it because it says it here. So this dates back to 1510, and they replaced the original building, bridge that was made out of wood. So yeah, this is the true centre of Hebden Bridge. This is when Hebden Bridge, was, the bridge that crossed over Hebden. So there you are, that's where it gets its name. Right, so we're at the next pub now in a moment. We're going to be going to talk about the old White Swan that you can see here, one of my favourite pubs in Hebden Bridge. Right, so the White Swan, originally known as the Bridge End, is a historic community pub located opposite the old bridge over the Hebden waters I've just described. It's a Ramsden house, or it used to be, with a mock tudor interior, polished bar, featuring fireplace with china jugs and traditional decor. It's a real Hebden Bridge pub, is this, locals pub. So it was originally called, like I said, the Bridge End, and it was right next to the Pack Horse Bridge that was built in 1510, as we've discussed. It became a pub in the mid-18th century. It has traditional decor, really community pub. The landlady, a lady called Elizabeth Wood, has been the longest-serving licensee in the town, I think. She's been here 40 years and has weathered the challenges of the weather and flooding, and also the passing of her husband. So a unique lady. She's often in there as well. She still shows her face. But yeah, a real character pub, and it's got quite a lot of old pictures from Hebden Bridge bowling clubs as well. So yeah, I always like the White Swan. It could do with a lick of paint and what have you, but it's still well loved and it's a good pub. Right, very quick one now. We're on to the next one. This is just right quick spinner is this. So this is the Hidden Hebden, which has been many things as a grocer, but in 2015 it became a micro pub. So let's get this place to go. Right, so stop number 9 was supposed to be the vault, which is there. Well, as you can see, it's for sale. So in 2022, that was the NatWest Bank, and it's only the vault, which was a rather la-di-da sort of like bar and what have you. But it's obviously for whatever reason not work, so we'll give that a miss, because obviously we can't get in there for a drink. So we're going to go to the other one, next one on, number 10. Right, so the vault is shut, so we're on to the next one, which is the Trades Club. And the Trades Club in Hebden Bridge was established in 1924 and has a rich history rooted in local trade union movement and thriving cotton industry of the time. Initially built by 6 trade unions, it served as a social club with amenities that, and they used to hold stuff like a spring dance, and they also had but as the cotton industry declined, the building saw a period of disuse before being revived by the Hebden Bridge and London District Labour parties. In 1982, it began operating as an independent socialist members club, eventually becoming a member of the cooperative in 2016. And as you can see now, it's a vibrant music venue and a community hub known for its political activism and just tries to do good in the local area. I think there's been some pretty big turns here. I think the most famous name is probably Patty Smith. So yeah, and it's good. We've been upstairs. They've got a snooker club, and I think they have various sports events on and whatever, like boxing or stuff like that. So yeah, it seems like a vibrant club, and it's good that it's keeping going. But we've been there before, so we're going to give this one a miss. We're going to go on to the next one. Right, so the next one we're on to, we're outside the picture house now, which I love. A real fantastic art deco building. We come here for the Banff Film Festival quite often, so I love it. It's real art deco. So look at this. So that's a taxi rank, and that is the nightjar. So the nightjar is the micro open that opened in 2017. Serving as a tap room for the Nightjar Brewing Company, or the Slightly Fox Brewing Company, and it's very welcoming. It's very sort of traditional. Like I say, it's part of the picture house, and it serves a lot of real ales and what have you. It's just got a really lovely atmosphere. So that's the Nightjar, one that's popped up. That obviously will have been part of the cinema in some form of capacity or another, but now it's a really popular little bar. Really good. I love the Nightjar. Right, we're now outside the old gate, and I've got a feeling the old gate stems from, there must have been a gate for the old toll road, I'm guessing. That's where the old gate comes from, but obviously I'll spin you around. So the old gate in Hebden Bridge has eastern twined with the town's development as a pack horse route, crossing point and later industrial centre. The area originally known as Hebden Bridge, which I've told you about, is because of obviously Hebden store being the biggest settlement, and obviously the Halifax to Burnley pack horse route. And like I said, the bridge earlier up, as we said, is where the town gets its name. So the old gate includes the pub that we've got now, and it evolved from a busy coaching into a popular spot where the arty and alternative characters have hung out. So the pub dates back to the 18th century and was a coaching inn, and is now a busy pub. They do good food. They've got a restaurant upstairs. We've got good beer, and it's spot on. So yeah, it's absolutely bouncing it down now, so I'm going to get inside, but yeah, the old gate, definitely worth a visit. Right, so we're nearly there, folks, so I think we've got 3 left to do. So we're at the Vocation Brewery, established in 2015 by John Hicklin, and it's a brewery based at Hebden Bridge, and it's known for its bold and flavoursome beers. The brewery started as a converted chicken shed in Crag Vale, and has shown high altitude and access to fresh water as its reasons for success. But yes, the Vocation Co was a tap room for the brewery, and it opened in June 2017. So it offers a lot of beers, and it's quite progressive, and it seems very popular. So that's another one. So we've got this one, 2 others, and then we're done. It's been an absolutely fabulous but rather damp day in Hebden Bridge, but I would strongly recommend that you come. Right, we're nearly done now with the Albert, which is on Albert Street, funnily enough. There you go. So the Albert is a pub in Hebden Bridge, and its history has got rooted in Victorian times. The Albert Hotel, complete with stables and coach house, as well as its square triangular shape, and retained much of its original charm, which is significantly impacted by the 2015 Boxing Day floods. So they refurbed it, they've tidied it up, and since then it's been well loved, but it's quite expensive to drink last time I went, so I hope it's not too bad today. But yeah, we're going to go to Albert. What I will say is there's a Pennine Club and the Hebden Bridge Sports and Social Club, and apparently they've got an unbelievable billiard room on the upper floor, but I think it's private members, so I'm not sure we can get in unless we pay some fees. So we're going to give them a miss today. And you've got another place called Coin, and you've got the North Edge or North something that Scott does food. So we've tried to keep it to pubs rather than places that do food as well. But I think we've covered most of Hebden Bridge. If there's any left, I'm really sorry I've missed you out, but we've tried our best to cover everybody. We've only got one left to do after this, and it's our favourite. Hopefully they'll allow us to a bit of karaoke, and then we can have a little bit of fun before we jump in a taxi and get back home. But anyhow, that's the Albert. Right, this is the last pub. We're at the Railway, which was opened in 1861, 21 years after the railway, so quite fitting that really when you think about it. And the Railway obviously is pretty traditional really. It's got lots of vibe going on. They often do a lot of karaoke, all the rest of it. But it's a proper locals pub, really. A bit like the White Swan, it's another locals, and proper true Hebden Bridge pub. Visitors are welcome, but locals go there, so it's really wonderful. And I really like it. They occasionally do karaoke, so they might be doing that tonight, so we'll see. But yeah, this brings the end to the ale trail. It's been a fabulous, fabulous day out. I love Hebden Bridge, I love the history, I love the pubs, I love that you've got many pubs within short proximity, and I'm looking forward to, at some point in the very near future, going on a wild camp, which is what I really need to do for my own sanity. But until then, until next time, thank you ever so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.